Well, I mean, you're bad at it.
Okay. Terrible at it.
What kind of job? Hand job? Blow
Blow
job?
job, dude.
Oh yeah. No,
Blowies.
dude, with those lips, come on now.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're back. Here we go.
Two adults, Chris and Daryl, yeah, they run shit. Current world events and forever on some dumb shit. Fun lit with a Bush Light, especially. Even though they always getting banned, allegedly. Crack a bourbon, peep the sermon, it's just two dolts. And you know they hold it down like it's two ropes. So crack a bourbon, peep the sermon, it's just two dolts. Taking over in the game, bringing new hope.
It's party time, baby.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah.
Where
Hey.
are you at with the?
Why did you get so quiet?
You can't hear me?
Okay, now it's better.
Where are you at with the Jordan had to leave the NBA because of gambling thing? Like, how plausible do you think that is?
I think it's plausible. And that's where I'm going to leave that because I don't have all the information, but I think that's very plausible. The conspiracy theory is a conspiracy theory at best, but it's got some plausibility.
Yeah, I was again. I can't bring up Facebook videos.
So
the shit. What? I'm like
not,
pinned.
not, dude. That's fine. I'm gonna turn my volume up.
Do you have both headphones on?
Maybe
How
that was
about
what
now?
it was. Maybe that's what it was.
How about now? No.
My ears were getting hot.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. In order to hear me, you need to put your headphones on. That's
Fuck. Oh, I should plug them in too, right?
Yeah, there's that. No, I was just watching this video, and there was a guy. He was working for the NBA, and he basically said he knew two things during that time. Number one, they're going to ask Michael to step away. Number two, his dad paid the price for it.
That was what I heard.
It is kind of strange. I mean, the timelines all sync up, but like, it's not like Jordan wasn't paying people, right? I mean,
from what I heard, when he gambled, the money was right there.
Yeah, a gentleman.
Yeah, I'm going to the casino, and I got 300 G's to spend. You're spending it, or you're winning it, but the money's there. You're not getting markers. I never once heard that he owed
ever
money.
That's never came out.
So and which is something that is weird because you hear that about guys.
Yeah. Oh, all the time.
Yeah. And it's prevalent. You just hear it.
Good word. Prevalent. Sibilance. Yeah, I'm doing okay volume wise. I don't know.
I don't know. I just sounded quieter than before. I turned my volume up.
I think because we were fucking around with all these fucking dumb shits.
You were fine, and like again, I think most of the show
is that better?
You're fine, dude. You're fine. You're fine. It's on my end.
Oh,
I think most of it. That's pretty solid.
Baritone.
I think most of this is because I had both headphones on.
Oh, okay. So it's your fault. Got it.
Yeah, I'm assuming that is what it was. Near the end, I took it off because I was getting hot.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, you'd hope that that wasn't it. It was kind of random how his dad died.
Yeah. Didn't they?
In between like Wilmington and Raleigh.
Yeah, like a carjacking or some shit.
Yeah, but who carjacks a guy like driving from Raleigh to Wilmington? Oh my god, I'm burping. There's not many places to stop your car. Like there's a certain point. I picked you up and we drove to Raleigh. There's a lot of highway where you're just fucking going.
Driving. Yeah.
That's it. There's no place to stop. There's nothing.
Wherever the fuck we stopped to get gas and beer when we left the airport.
Middle of nowhere.
That place was, I thought we were in West Virginia.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it literally was set in Hills Have Eyes 4, I think.
Yeah. I mean, those, and we were maybe 18 minutes from the beach?
I have no idea.
Legit 18 minutes. Dude. Yeah, we were like 18 minutes from the beach. We stopped at the gas station where they didn't take cards at the pump, and there was bars on the window. So I could totally see how if he pulled over to take a little nap, he's a little old, whatever, he gets carjacked by some fucking idiots. And then how many times do idiots do idiot shit? All the fucking time.
And back then, somebody an older black man driving a Lexus.
Sure.
I'm watching fucking Kias get stolen all day, every day here. All day, every day. It's what's going on right now. It's fucking hilarious. So back in the 90s?
Yeah.
90,
what, 3?
Alexis?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
I see it.
So it's plausible.
I see it, but I still don't believe. I mean, if anyone's going to be allowed back in the sport, it would be Jordan.
Yeah.
Everyone tries to make the comparisons to like Pete Rose and whatever. Pete Rose wasn't playing at the time. Pete Rose, when he was playing, one of the greatest to ever do it. Pete Rose as a coach, who gives a shit? Yeah. I still think he should be in the Hall of Fame.
I do too.
I don't get how like you can hold people out like that.
Different strokes for different folks. I mean,
that's only something you say because it rhymes. It doesn't have any bearing in real life.
No, it doesn't.
No.
Okay.
Like lick it and stick it definitely has a bearing, even though it does rhyme.
Okay. You're not making your case any better here, sir.
No, I think I just proved my point wrong.
I've watched enough Suits to fucking know you're not doing well right now.
You're watching Suits? What do you think about the show Suits? I think it's pretty good.
I like it so far. And me and Krista she's like, she watched it through like season 4. She told me when I get to a certain point, we'll watch it together. And that's cool. But I didn't watch a couple episodes here and there. Yes.
What's
Donna.
her face? No.
Well,
Meghan Markle.
Meghan Markle. Yeah, she's fucking stupid hot.
Stunning. And I hear they're in a little rocky relationship. So I'm going to put the feelers out if she wants to date a moderate racist with a medium dick. I'm going to just throw it out there. I think I have more earning potential than that fucking guy right now.
Who, Mike Ross?
No, then fucking the guy she's Harry.
Yeah, the guy that's a fucking in line to be the king of a whole country.
He fucking gave it all up for her.
Sure he did.
Yeah, he's got nothing. He's not doesn't have personality either. I'm all personality, babe. Come on over. Meghan Markle is stunning.
Yeah,
I would turn into a full-fledged give up my throne. I would do it for her. Yeah, I don't blame him one fucking bit.
This is the classic putting the pussy on a pedestal moment, though.
Dude, she is hot as fuck.
Yeah,
she is stupid hot.
But we were talking about this, and she's like, "What do you think?" I said, "It's pretty fucking wild." And the stop for a second after a couple seasons in and see all the workings and shit, and just go, "This happens every day."
Oh yeah, yeah.
We are not privy to that life or any of that.
Of course, yeah.
But
the back-end deals,
there are yes. So this happens, and Chris is like, I know that it does because the corporate world that she works in, and she's like, I just can imagine what our company corporate lawyers are going through.
Oh yeah, of course.
And it goes back and it just shows you how the system's rigged against you. You got a big high profile lawyer. That lawyer knows a judge. That lawyer may have a favor coming.
Sure.
You see all that shit. But the question to get asked, and that I like to wonder about, is if Mike Rossi Rose, whatever Rick Ross says, could that happen?
Yeah. So given the multitude of talents as this guy has, his photographic memory, he's also a cocky piece of shit. He's also on his way to getting through the college or some whatever. I don't know, his legal degree. He's taken the LSAT for other people. I think it could happen. 100%.
And he aced it.
Yeah,
he could ace it, so he has to get questions wrong for other people.
Yeah.
He is insanely smart,
but he has the ability. In my opinion, someone like that should just grant him
lawyership.
Yeah. The fact that you have to go through like It's not just the LSAT thing. So you pass that, you pass the bar, and then you have to go through like this fucking purity test or whatever, where you have to have people vouch for you. Like, you know what I mean? It seems very Mormon to me.
Yeah.
You know?
And so back to that question, could that happen? I'm like, there are people out there that are like this.
1,000%. I knew somebody.
There's not a lot of them, but they're out there. So could this happen? Yes. And I agree with you. I'm like, so he doesn't have a degree from Harvard, and that's the whole premise of this show, is that he became a lawyer
Yeah.
at a very big firm and is right under the fucking right-hand man at the top because he's so fucking good at what he does.
Yep.
Do you think that somebody could just say, hey, I have photographic memory, I have memorized all this shit, you tell me what's on page 702, I'm going to read it word for word, and you can do that shit? So then you're like, okay, at some point would a big company say, hey,
that's
take the LSATs?
That's where they made it a show and not real life. In real life, if I'm Harvey, I would have that guy in my back pocket. I'd pay him like an attorney.
Yeah.
Even though he's not an attorney. And he could sit with me as not an attorney during court cases.
What is that?
I think it's whatever that 500-tooth dinosaur's name is.
Moving on.
He's that Taurus. Yeah, no, I think if I was Harvey, I would have done it a little bit differently. But then you don't have a show.
Huge risk doing that. What's that?
I don't know. My mic just started moving for no reason. I think my dad's here. Dad?
What's up, Paul?
Dad? God, would you imagine?
Wait, hang on. Wait. If you get fucking cold cocked, your head fucking stabbed, your dad's definitely there.
Yeah, if I get punched in the face and get told to take out the garbage, my dad is definitely here.
What is moving over there? Is it your cord?
I swear to God, I'm not moving anything.
Dude,
it's moving by itself.
It almost sounds like a faucet tripping.
Yeah, no, my mic was doing this, and I'm not touching anything.
I cranked mine down so hard it won't move.
Your dick or your mic?
Both.
Oh, nice. You know, I have like the heavy duty. I don't know. Dad, if you're here, welcome to the show. But yeah, I think in real life, you put that guy in your pocket, you keep him on the fucking, you put him on the payroll, you pay him like an attorney. He's my special assistant.
If he's on a payroll, what do you list him as?
Whatever she was, like not a PA, but
paralegal?
Like, paralegal.
Because paralegals haven't gone to college, they haven't done anything yet.
They could have gone to the college, but they have not passed the bar yet.
Okay.
So I put them on there.
Just, you're a paralegal.
Yeah, but there's like, I knew a guy in high school, no shit. We could, dude, this is spooky.
Whatever it is, it's close to you because your mic's picking it up.
No, it's the whole mic stand is moving.
Oh.
Like the mic stand is doing this. So I knew a guy, his name was Tim. I forgot his last name. He ended up dying. A fucking gas truck ran into him and he exploded. Like, that's the way to go. But this dude had a bunch of money. He was pretty cool. And I think when I was in 10th grade, he was a senior. And so we had some overlapping times where we would like hang out a little bit. And he wasn't like a cool guy, but he had some friends. And I could flip open any textbook and give him 3 seconds to look at the page, and he would recite the entire page to me.
Yeah.
He's like, I have a photographic memory. And that's the first time I've ever heard of that. It's one thing to have like recall, right? You read something, you can recall it.
Yeah.
I hear shit all the time. Like at trivia, I would put my skills on trivia against probably anybody else that we know. Because for some reason, I'm a sponge for shit that I hear. But when I read it, sometimes I got to go back and read it a few times. This guy could look at a page, before like you could even read a whole page, this guy had taken a snapshot of it with his brain. Crazy.
Yeah.
We're talking like biology pages and shit like that.
Do you
Word
think
for word.
you could literally go work 5-6 days a week, 12 to 14 hours a day wearing a fucking suit?
No.
I don't want to be about that life ever. I don't mind wearing a suit now. I don't. I used to dress up for my birthday and shirt and tie and everything and have a good time, but I don't think I could do that every day.
No, that's pretty tough. I watched The Office way too much at this point. And a lot of times I look at Jim and I'm like, the guy never goes on appointments.
Yeah.
So why wear a suit?
I was just about to bring that point up.
I was wearing this today and I had 6 meetings today. And they're like, I'm not going to, like most of the time I just wear a black hoodie.
Yeah.
That's it. I think I'm fucking haunted today. I don't know. Like this shit's moving. Someone's giving me a hand job right now. I think I'm getting a hand job from Anne Frank. The other reason I know it's really quiet.
It's not Anne Frank, bro. It's Helen Keller.
No, because it'd be like, meh. So my daughter.
It's because she talked with her hands, you asshole. God damn it. How did I waste that joke on you?
No, hold on. I don't think she knew sign language because she was blind too. She was blind and deaf. I'll look it up if you want, but I don't think she knew sign language. Olivia had to do, so they had this like living museum thing for like her like class, and she gets fucking Helen Keller.
Did Helen Keller fly a plane? Did Helen Keller write a book? Did Helen Keller fly a plane and read it? Did she have kids? Did she?
This is weird. Do you know why she couldn't play the piano? Or do you
she
know
couldn't
why
see
Helen
the
Keller?
fucking keys, dumbass?
No, do you know why Helen Keller can't play the piano? Because she's fucking dead. I love that joke. No, so my daughter, they had to pick names out of a hat, you know, and she gets Helen Keller. I'm like, the bitch couldn't speak. You got to do an oral report. Daryl, go ahead.
By the age of 10, Helen Keller was proficient in reading Braille and in manual sign language.
Oh, interesting. The more you know.
Yeah.
The more you know.
Joe.
Way to break it down to a fucking lull. No, I just heard she was really complaining. You know, she's like, I can't fucking see. No. You know, what's on Netflix?
What the fuck?
Yeah. Uppity bitch.
But yeah, that show Suits is pretty cool. I mean,
It's
getting into
good.
Fucking heavy duty stuff. I don't know how many seasons there are.
What sucks is that,
I
like,
think I'm in 3.
they're just, it's just, to me, over time, you know, and you're going to get to it soon. It's the same episode every time.
Yeah, I was wondering that because I was watching it and it's like, okay, you know, all these different scenarios they get into and how they get out of them and how they're thinking outside the box. And
Harvey's got to go play a high stakes poker game with somebody. Like, come the fuck on, really?
And whatnot. I mean, it is, and him fighting with his boss and them each doing the fucking reach around on each other and blah 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 blah. I mean, it's.
Where are you at with Lit? Do you like him or hate him?
I mean, I'm in the middle.
Yeah, there's times
I want to like him. I want to hate him.
I think he becomes, and you're getting close to it, one of the best actors in the show. Like from an acting standpoint, he's one of the best actors in the show.
So I was trying to figure this out. I ran into a couple Facebook reels about him and his quick tongue and everything, and it was kind of fucking funny. I was like, and I watched 1 and I watched 2 and I watched 3. I'm like, what the fuck show is this? And people were asking, what is the show? And they're like, Suits. And I was like, all right, so I watched it. And as far as I can remember right now,
Cousin Dara. Brenda.
Jesus Christ, have more.
Jesus Christ. What's wrong with me?
Yeah, I haven't seen those clips yet. He hasn't got to that point yet.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, he's now senior partner in whatever. He's a little too fucking odd with his mudding and his love for cats and opera. And he's a complete polar opposite of Harvey, which I think is why they cast him that way.
Well, I think they wanted him to be a gay guy. And I think he is a gay guy in real life. Because he's gay as fuck in the show. But then they make him fall in love with this chick that's kind of like a dominatrix chick.
Fuck that cunt, Melissa.
Yeah. She was also dating fucking Ed Helms in The Hangover.
That's why I called her Melissa.
Oh, good job. She's a bitch in everything she does. Great actress, though.
She likes to fuck, it looks like.
Hell yeah. But yeah, he ends up becoming one of the best actors in the whole show. Because the dude that plays Harvey is the same guy. You know what I mean? He's the same. He doesn't have any depth. The dude that plays the fucking what's the other guy's name?
Mike Ross.
Mike Rouse. The guy that plays Mike Ross, same guy. Meghan Markle, just is she kind of cross-eyed?
I don't really give a fuck what she is.
I think she's got a little cross-eyed to her because that triggers something in me where I could chase her down in the woods.
She's eventually going to run into a tree.
Sooner or later, the odds are stacked against you, bitch. No, that girl is fucking beautiful.
Donna is
no,
lethal.
and this is my only complaint with the whole show. I get that there are people out there that have heightened senses that can read things before they even happen. I get it. But in Suits, there's a secretary that they start making into this elfin fucking princess that can predict the future. Have you gotten to the Robo-Donna thing yet?
I don't know. I'm at the end of season 3 right now.
You haven't gotten there yet.
Okay. She's at that point now where
Total shit.
Somebody would walk up and she already knows what they want. Okay. Yeah. Predictability. You have maybe heard that.
Been to the puppet show, seen the strings, get it. Totally get it.
You know, but it seemed a little overplayed that she was that fucking far ahead. And every time they asked her, she's like, well, I'm Donna. Well, I'm Donna. Well, I'm Donna. And I can do all these things. And I'm like, you're a secretary.
They should have pulled that role back a little bit and just made her some whimsical character in the background that still had a lot of weight.
But I mean, at that point, you don't have many characters, so you needed somebody like that.
Yeah, it's just that's the one thing. There's the little, and I maybe it's season 4. They take this like Donna adventure, and you're like, what are we doing?
Is this where they spend a whole bunch of episodes creating her character, but giving her character the background in that persona? They just kind of like, you know, they do that with a lot of shows. There's a certain period that they spend and try to fucking build up that character.
Yeah, and that's totally fine.
Give them more of a backbone or a story.
Yeah, you need a little depth, little back history and stuff like that. That's totally fine. But like, it's like they made her into this like magical person, and it's like she could have just the whole time she was just a cool chick. She was a ride or die bitch that Harvey needs to be Harvey. And now she's like casting spells and shit. Come on. What are we doing here?
She's got fucking those stones in a little fucking velvet bag that she can read, and then she pulls out some chicken bones and throws them on a fucking table, and it tells her the future.
Spits in it, cuts a wrist, whatever.
Yeah,
I'm into all that stuff. I'm into like, dude. There's nothing hotter than a girl with arm tattoos that thinks she's a witch. I'm all in on that.
You fucking love witches, dude.
I'm all into the free bleeding. Whatever. Do your thing. Bleed your period blood into a shoebox and bury it behind a tree. I don't give a flying fuck. But don't tell me that You have a guy like Harvey, a great character, great written character, great dialogue, great actor that's playing the guy. They couldn't have casted any better. Then you get Mike Ross, great written character. Situation's a little muddy. You got to make a show out of it, so you got to have like the every time you're floating on, is he going to get caught? Is he not going to get caught? I get it. You get Lit, who's a pretty great written character. Very effeminate, in my opinion. Not too jazzed about that, because like if you're going to be effeminate, just make him a gay guy. Make him a guy that's questioning his sexuality the whole time, and that's why he's so urgent and so weird. Then I'm buying it the whole time. But then he's like in love with this chick. Yeah, it gets a little weird.
I just Googled it earlier, and they just said most places said he's not gay, dude.
He seems kind of gay.
Yeah, it would again. Whatever. Happy Pride Month, everyone.
Gays. We love the gays.
Tomorrow. I love all the news channels are putting up all their shit about Gay Pride Parade Sunday and road closures and everything. Pride Month and their flags getting raised today or tomorrow or whatever. And fucking shit. I just love watching all these people lose their shit about it. Like, at what point does this bother you? Why does it affect you? It doesn't. What the fuck do you care?
Yeah, I hate that shit.
One person dropped an absolute mic drop about the road closure one. Hey, these roads are going to be closed on Sunday. And they really didn't mention the Pride Parade. They just said this area in Elmwood's going to be closed.
Right.
And this guy went on this huge fucking rant. And this girl's like, the article was about road closures. Why are you that upset? And it was fucking, she got like 1 billion fucking likes. And people were like,
good for her. Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Yeah.
So fucking simple.
Calm down.
And yeah. Fuck off, people.
But when you have like that dude has some gay energy in the whole show, but he's not gay.
Yeah.
It's weird. And they never got into the whole backstory of why he's the way he is. They chose to make the Donna backstory of why the way she is.
Yeah.
And I think the show would have been better, in my opinion. And you're only halfway through. If they would have made her be the cursory character with no background.
Yeah.
She's just ride or die, cool as shit. And they went to a little backstory with Lewis Litt. And that to me would have made it a little bit more well-rounded of a character. Sorry.
I mean, right now, they just are going back. They've had a couple episodes with,
Come on.
I'm going to say, this is completely wrong. And I know it is because I can't come up with the right word. Backflashes. That's not it.
Flashbacks. Yeah. You just got to do this.
Dyslexic idiot.
Yeah.
Okay. Backflashes. With Harvey and Donna about being at the old law firm.
Yeah. And how they found each other.
Yeah. And that she was his secretary and they just came out that they had actually hooked up.
That's enough backstory that you need between those two that means like, sometimes you meet people, sure, they fucked, whatever. But you meet people like that and they're just part of your skeleton. They just become burnt into your bones, and that's just the way it is, and it's never going to change and whatever. And you have this undying commitment to this person, even though you know that you're probably not going to ever end up with that person. You're never going to do it again. You're never going to hooking up with them again. But it's just part of the process. But they're ride or die with you. They know all your secrets. They know all the ins. They know all the outs. And that's just the way it is. And then they had this like weird road trip with this bitch. And it's just like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
Or some computer scientist makes like the fucking AI Donna and they're going to put it to market. Dude, it's just like, huh? Solve court cases. Like, what are we doing? I hate that shit. What's like in the last, I got to put The Office really up there. Really up there. But the more I watch it, and I watch it way too much.
Yeah. I've watched the beginning and end 5 or 6 times now.
Yeah. 99% of it is Michael ruining an office party because he's a psychopath.
Is it because he's a psychopath or he's an R word?
Yeah. But then they had a backstory with him, how he had a stepdad and the stepdad told him that the manager is the most important thing in the baseball. And it's like, that's why he wants to be the manager. But if the guy had that thing, he wouldn't keep fucking up being a manager. But then Dunder Mifflin Scranton is the only successful branch. Sorry.
Out of the 5 or 6 branches.
Yeah. Yeah.
And is that because of him, or is it because everybody enjoys working at the office, and when you have a happy staff, they don't mind working hard for you?
Or are they good because of the situations the guy puts them in?
Because you have to rise above his idiocy.
Yeah. So there's a lot of weird, is the word dichotomy, right?
Oh, that's a really good word.
I think that there's a lot of
That plays.
weird shit with that, where there's so many levels of why they're successful. Why does he kind of push people together and then sit back and then you see the whole story play out? Why does he let Dwight and fucking what's his face keep battling, even though Dwight's the better salesman? And I think Dwight's one of the best written and best casted characters probably of all time, and that guy doesn't get enough credit for it.
No, Rainn Wilson's fucking genius for that.
He's come out recently saying, like, right when The Office gets signed, season 2, Steve Carell gets 40-Year-Old Virgin and goes from, or maybe season 1, he films that shit. He goes from being kind of not nobody, because he was on the Daily Show for a little bit.
Yeah.
He was, dude, have you ever seen any clips from Dana Carvey's show with Steve Carell?
Yes.
The fucking bit where like they go through a drive-through and they throw the money in and they drive away without the food, or like they, as a gag, they go and the lady's like, yeah, it's $100 to clean out my garage. They clean out the whole garage and they speed away and they're laughing because they fucking got one over on her, but they cleaned out her garage. Like, it was Louis C.K. was a lead writer on that show too. Yeah. Like, that was like the who's who of fucking shit. And with Dana Carvey, who was like one of the funniest guys of all time, still is one of the funniest guys of all time, in my opinion. But
the one Office episode that was actually the best was the one with Louis C.K. in it, and fucking Michael Scott's trying to do a British accent, and fucking Louis C.K. loses his shit. Was it Louis? No, Ricky Gervais. My bad. Yeah. Ricky Gervais loses his shit because he can't keep his fucking head on straight.
Yeah.
And they fucking ran with it because it was so fucking out of line.
Mm-hmm.
Yet it fucking absolutely killed.
Yeah, he's like, I'm working on a British character named something Pufter or whatever. And Gervais goes, I'm working on an Asian character. You can't, it's not PC, but his name is like two fucks or something like that. It's great.
But that show was fine. That was amazing. But I'm enjoying Suits, but I don't know. I heard it was good. I just needed something good because I get to that point where I'm like, I get really, it's hard for me to watch a new show.
Yeah.
Like, I will just in a second go back and watch Entourage. Yeah. I'll go back in a second and watch The Office over again. Everybody's like, why are you watching this again? I'll go back and watch Letterkenny again. I'm like, why? Because it's fucking hilarious to me. And this is what I enjoy.
And you can sit, and if you miss something, you're not going to miss it because you've already seen it 10,000 times. Like, that's, that is an anxiety trick that we all have. We go back to things that we're comfortable with, and that's just what it is.
Yeah. I mean, I went back and watched True Blood not all that long ago.
I tried to start watching that show because you recommended it.
Yeah, I'm a big. I like vampire shit. Yeah,
it's really good. And then I get to a certain point, like season 3, where I'm like, all right, I'm over it. I don't know why I can't watch it to the end. Californication, I've seen 1,000 times front to back. Entourage, 1,000 times front to back. The Office, 1,000 times.
Oh, yeah.
Parks and Rec, a ton.
I didn't get into Parks and Rec. I tried.
It's great.
And that's the other thing too, is like if it doesn't catch me in the first episode or 2, I'm out.
And that's funny because Entourage was like a slow burn until probably episode 3 or 4.
Yeah.
But you can kind of buy into it. And we were younger when it came out. So it was just, dude.
The thing with that was my roommates were watching it. So when I would come in on a Sunday night when they had their hour to watch Entourage, right? That was on HBO?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd walk in and they were already in, halfway through season 1 or 2 or whatever, and I'd catch an episode. I'm like, this fucking show's great. And I would start watching it with them, and I obviously ask them a billion questions, like the retard that comes in a year late.
Sure.
But that's when I started watching it by myself. I already knew that it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you eat those first handful of episodes, and
I remember
you just go from there.
I was living in a house, like a huge, like not a mansion, but it was probably like a 3,800 square foot house. And they would always watch Californication in the basement, but I didn't want to hang out with those guys. So I would just go up to my room, I'd play Madden or whatever and just go to bed. And everyone, like that company I was with, so most of the people in the house worked for the same company I was working at. And they all took off for 4th of July. So I was kind of by myself in a huge ass house. And they kept going like, I was jacking it nonstop. And I was single. So they were like, they kept going like, you got to watch Entourage. You're going to, or not, Californication. You're going to love Californication. I'm like, I'm not going to trust these fucking idiots. Right. So they had downstairs in the basement, like 7 bottles of red wine. So I'm like, fuck it. I'll put it on. It's a Saturday. I don't know anybody really in this town. All the people I do know are gone. I'll throw it on. I watched like the first 5 seasons and 5 bottles of wine.
One day.
Yeah. I swear to God. And I was like, they're completely right. Like I was trying to find, like I went into it going, fuck it. I'm not gonna like it. Whatever. These assholes recommended. I'm not gonna like it. Dude, I bit hook, line, and sinker, and I was a fan ever since. That's one of the greatest.
You told me to watch it, and I did watch the first handful, 4 or 5 episodes, and I planned on watching more, and I just, for some reason, I just stopped watching TV.
Sometimes you just dump out, and that's totally fine. But like, I swear to God, Californication, the season 1 through 4 is probably one of the best written shows, best characters of all time. But it's always got that same shit to it. It's like, he's got a little Harvey in him from that Suits show. It's like he can't do any wrong, and even when he fucks up, he fucks up. He doesn't fuck down. You know what I mean? So it just gets a little fucking muddy. But I do love watching shows from back in the day where they got flip phones. They're not on fucking Instagram. You know what I mean? Like I like that kind of shit too. Simpler times.
Did you ever see Shameless?
Great show.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. I didn't see the last like 2 seasons.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah.
So I think I caught up to it, and then whatever channel it was on, I didn't have, so I had to wait. And then I was just
hot
like, she fucks too. She love fuck. But I mean, again, you can relate to that. That is a real life scenario. That shit happens every day. We read about it, you know?
Yeah.
And when we probably know people like that.
Of course.
Frank Gallagher, literally talking to him right now.
Right. I have a job. I do okay. But yeah. No, what I do like about that show is like the nucleus of kids that stick together. And I don't think you have that nowadays for some reason.
No, I mean, when we were younger, if you had a family of 4 kids, what did the mother die?
I think she just pieced out.
She pieced out.
Yeah.
So you're left with an alcoholic father, and you have 4 kids, and they're poor as fuck.
The oldest daughter becomes the mother.
Yeah. So which is how it works. Or the oldest son decides to grab the family by the bootstraps and say, we got to do better. If we're going to get the fuck out of this mess, we have to do it because our parents are fucking shit.
Sure.
We've seen it. We know people that have probably been through this.
Yeah.
And it's just great to watch these children be adults when the adult can't be an adult.
And I like that it's not filmed with like stationary cameras. It's kind of a little wobbly. You know, it's got
Little
the
Blair Witch touch
it's
to
got
it when
it's got
Frank
the
starts getting
office
drunk.
thing to it. You know, like I I have a hard time. And my kids are watching like what's Olivia watching now? Young Sheldon. And it's not a bad show. I never got into Bang Theory or whatever the fucking show is called.
Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, I never got
We
into
did.
it.
Krista was
Yeah.
big into that. I watched it because of Kaylee Cuoco.
Sure. But it's still steady cam, you know, and it's like you can tell it's a set, you know, and you know, they never show the wall behind where the cameras are because they can't.
Yeah, because there's no wall there.
Yeah. And in Shameless, it's like you're in the house.
Yeah.
You know, you've seen from where behind the camera is. There's like a shitty TV and a shitty fish tank, and you see the front door, and then you see the walk through the kitchen. You see all that shit. It's like, I don't know if they built the set differently or if but the way they planned for it, it was like so ground roots type of filming. To me, like that's what made it more real.
Yeah.
A lot of these shows, like even how we grew up, like Roseanne, one of the greatest shows of all time. But the view from the camera when they're in the living room was above the TV. And that was kind of like the new way to do it. Cosby did it a little bit too, but like you just, the way they filmed it, it was so stationary, you know? And you go to the kitchen, you can see the camera kind of, you feel the camera roll with Vanessa going through the double door kitchen or whatever, that fucking double entry thing. And then all of a sudden you're in the kitchen. It's like, that's just one big set to me, you know? Full House, same thing. But like these more realistic ones where you're actually going through the house, going through the apartment, going up the stairs, going to the bathroom, you can see all of it. And it becomes a little bit more tactile, I think.
Yeah, you can. It's more relatable
Yeah.
for me. It's like you actually feel like you're in that shit.
Well, Roseanne was like the first relatable show I think I've ever seen in my life. Maybe All in the Family, but I was too young. Yeah, I remember the reruns of that shit. But Roseanne was like, wait a minute, like they're scraping to get by. That was so much more relatable to me than you know, the Tanner family, where this guy's on like Wake Up San Francisco.
Yeah.
And his uncle lives in the basement doing this shit. You know, like I didn't get it, you know.
Cut
Yeah.
it out. Whatever the fuck. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Your uncle and your other uncle has impeccable hair, is obviously a vampire, and is in a band called Jesse and the Rippers. Like, and he does drums with the Beach Boys when you go on vacation in Hawaii. Like, that does not compute to me.
No.
It's a nice little mental.
I can't relate to that shit.
A side note, did you hear that Diddy fucked fuck the Winslow dad?
Carl?
Yeah. Because he needed money.
I didn't hear that, but I also don't. I can't keep heads or tails of what's going on with this story. I mean, they raided him. They fucking his jet took off, ended up in Antigua. They found him walking around an airport. Nothing's happened after that.
Yeah.
Except for the video of him beating Cassie, running around in his towel. So I'm like, what has happened? What happened in this case? What is going on? They're like, but then this is the conspiracy theory side. They're all like, oh my God, I fucked that up. Conspiracy theory side is that he knows something about the government. And that's what they were coming to get. They weren't coming to get child porn shit. They were coming to get stuff he had on somebody, and they're going to make it go away. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck about that.
Well, there was this weird
thing. And I'm like, I don't get it. I mean, I don't. Everything is just dropped. It becomes a big thing for 4 days, and then it's gone. Why is it gone? Why is something that big just gone?
Why is the Epstein stuff? Like, if you were to like just go the timetable, right? First part of the timetable, all the people that are powerful go to his shit. Okay? He's the media, he's a darling. And then second part of the timetable, he gets arrested. Okay? They raid the fucking island. He never really had a job. He had this net worth. I mean, it was like kind of a government Ponzi scheme, really, in my opinion. And who wouldn't, if you had the gumption, let's just say, to like get an island, get Bill Gates to go there, get the fucking guy in the fucking speak and spell wheelchair to go there and shit like that, Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, whatever, and you corrupt them with all their vices, but it's filmed like Diddy. And then it gets raided, he gets arrested, and then he gets put in jail. Third chapter. Gets put in jail. And magically, the cameras that are facing the jail, God damn it, they don't work. And the people that were in charge of being security in front of his cell weren't really employees of the prison at all. And they weren't there either when he hung himself. And then nothing. Like, where'd the evidence go? Where's all the film? Where's the security cameras? Like, we have this loose representation of the flight logs, but there's no concrete evidence for that. And it's still nothing.
Where did it all go?
I saw this thing today. It was
that is literally probably going to be one of the most interesting stories
that never gets told.
That never gets told in
never.
my life.
Yep. And it's like that in JFK. Like, we all know what happened with JFK. We all know.
We sure? I know London knows.
No, London just likes the fact that it's like where he got shot is like 8 minutes away from a bagel stand.
But that whole Epstein thing, it's like, how did he convince all these high profile people to come to this island? What was there? Was it, hey, I have hills of cocaine. We have strippers, also prostitutes. We have younger males and females for those of you who enjoy those sort of things. And is that why everybody came there? But if you're one of those high profile people going to Epstein Island and you know you're going there to have sex,
as we call it,
with a younger person, again, I don't know the ages of these people. I don't know if they're under 18. If
it's been alleged 18. That they're underage.
Okay, so underage kids and do illicit drugs. If you are a high profile person, like everyone was, the fucking president of the United States was there
like 33 times.
Why would you allow yourself to be there knowing there's cameras around?
I don't think they knew. So his whole thing, he was like a psyop guy. So like he was able to get leverage. Like same with Diddy. You're a recording artist. Diddy gives you a little bit of money because he believes in you as talent, and he's going to put out your first record. So you got a 1 record deal, and that record goes fucking crazy for Bad Boy, right? All the time you come to his house, you're partying, whatever, and then he starts to drug you. And then you go, okay, I want like a 5 album deal. Like any record album would say, first one's a banger, or maybe we signed you to a 3 album deal.
Yeah.
So you're done with 3 albums. Now we need another 3 album deal. And then he hits play on a fucking TV screen and you're getting railed by male hookers. And he's like, listen, we're going to need to be a little bit friendly to us on the deal. Epstein was that, but with politics. You know what I mean? Like, it's not rap music. It's politics. That's crazy.
Everybody went to this island under the guise that there was no cameras, nobody around, no cell phones, no.
Well, they're all part of that fucking witchcraft shit where they go to the woods and fucking pray to all the like, and you see all these like these stars now doing like this sign to people, like all this shit's crazy. I never believed in Satan worshipers until maybe the last 9 months.
I had a friend tell me that you are starting to slip to the conspiracy theorist side. A lot of your views and things that you said lately on Facebook and on this podcast
That's interesting.
have moved the needle from dead center kind of towards.
Okay, so here's my retort.
Okay.
Let's first address where dead center is. Okay, because in the last 3 years,
I'm dead center.
I would still put you far left of center towards more conspiracy.
What? You think I believe more of this shit?
I think you believe in more conspiracies than there's no conspiracies.
You are you're fucking off base.
Okay.
You're misconstruing me and my sarcasm for this.
Okay.
I don't buy into hardly any of them.
Okay. So middle of the road thinks that COVID just happened. What do you think?
I don't believe it.
No, what do you think? Like, where do you think COVID came from?
I think it was a biological weapon and it got out.
You're with me. Okay.
But
Go ahead.
No. I want you to continue here now before I say anything.
Middle of the road thinks that JFK was shot by one guy with no political involvement. Okay. If middle of the road's here, I'm a little bit over here. The guy motherfucked the mob after the mob helped him get elected.
I don't have a lot of information on this. All I know is what happened in the news.
Sure. The guy was trying to get out of Vietnam, and Vietnam was making a lot of money for the United States. The guy also said that there is literally the whole commerce of America is built on the American war machine. So he's trying to get out of it. And then magically, some assholes say, no, ride in a convertible around tall buildings. I mean, come on. The government had some involvement in Kennedy's death. Some involvement.
So how much involvement did they have in the 9/11 attack?
I'm not there yet, but it is kind of strange that the guy that owned the towers took out an insurance plan against terrorist attacks about a week and a half before that happened. A little strange, right? Now, is that a conspiracy or is that just good luck? I don't know. I know
or did he do that knowing things are getting ramped up in the Middle East and say, hey, I have two of the tallest buildings in the world.
Do you know that in 1998, Bin Laden's still on the shit list for America? Okay. So, like, we trained him. We supplied him with money. We supplied him with ammunition. We supplied him with everything. And in 1998, they make him. They see him. He gets out of a car and he's walking towards some other guys. And they're like, we have him. We can take him out right now. And he's public enemy number 9, not number 1, right? Not after 9/11, number 1 with a bullet, right? But he's there. They see him. He's on satellite. And they're like, hey, we can take him out right now. And they were told to stand down. And then 3 years later, that shit happens. I'm just saying. I'm not buying it 100%. I don't think the government was behind it 100%. But the government's done some really fucked up shit.
I can agree with that statement.
The reason we got into Vietnam was the Gulf of Tonkin. Whoop. Like, I'm fine with not believing in conspiracies until Gulf of Tonkin. Let's go through this, okay?
Okay, hang on. Adam's here, so shit's about to get real.
Sure. Let's go through this real quick.
I don't
Adam,
mind catching
I kind of believe it.
some history lessons from you guys because I was never a history guy.
And I'm going to say this.
Whatever. I don't mind. I don't mind reading, but this again could be put out by the government, and this is what they want us to believe because
So
I got something to say to you when you're done with this.
The Gulf of Tonkin incident was an international confrontation that led the United States to engaging directly in the Vietnam War. It consisted of a confrontation on August 12, 1964, when the United States forces were carrying out covert amphibious operations close to North Vietnamese territorial waters. Whoop, that's hard for me to say. Which triggered a response from North Vietnamese forces. The United States actually staged something before there was a response. So the United States government falsely claimed that a second incident occurred on August 4th between North Vietnamese and United States ships in the waters of the Gulf of Tonkin. So we said that this happened just to get into Vietnam when it didn't really happen.
Allegedly.
It says it right here.
Where? I can't read any of that.
Right here. The United States government
falsely. Okay, I was below that.
A second incident occurred on August 4th, 1964, between North Vietnamese and United States ships in the waters of Gulf of Tonkin. Originally, U.S. military claims blamed North Vietnam for the confrontation on the ostensible, that's a hard word, but in fact, imaginary incident on August 4th. So the reason that dudes that we were talking about off air that were going to go into their dad's firm for fucking accounting got drafted into a war was because the United States, the only really capital we have is waging war. Look what just happened in fucking, hey, Daryl.
I don't think that anybody out there can disagree with the fact that war is big money.
Pays pretty good.
Big money.
Pays pretty good. So I've been saying this forever. Forever. All this shit that's going on in Ukraine. Guess who just got awarded $7 trillion? The contract to go and rebuild Ukraine after the war that our tax dollars are funding.
Yeah.
A little company called BlackRock.
Yep.
So I'm not a conspiracy theorist because these aren't conspiracies. You know what I mean? Like the Loch Ness Monster is a conspiracy. No, I don't know. I don't know. Bigfoot. I don't know. But when we lie, the government lies to go get into a war. And then we go into a war. And then the guy that doesn't want us to be in war anymore gets his brains blown out. And then his brother that does a speech at a hotel gets rerouted through a kitchen where there happens to be a gunman. What are we doing? That's not conspiracy. Yeah, we're going to rebuild Gaza too. Guess who's going to get that contract? All the people that are owned by BlackRock, because BlackRock owns 90% of the S&P.
Yeah.
I mean, so tell your friend, number one, to eat my nuts. Number two, that I'm not a conspiracy theorist. Conspiracy theorist says that birds aren't real. You know what I mean? This is real shit. This is real.
Run over with enough of them in my car and seeing blood and guts to know that.
Do you know that? Like,
hey, can there be a fucking seagull that is perched on the corner of a fucking building that hasn't moved in 6 years? Could it be a camera? Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, they have insects. They have drones the size of grasshoppers now.
Okay. And that's great.
That's crazy.
And now the birds aren't real. They're video cameras. They're spying on us, and the power lines are what recharge them, I think is how this goes.
That makes sense.
I can pretty much without a doubt state the fact that there is not a company out there that can create a bird that is lifelike enough to be fully robotized
Sure.
to fly like a real bird.
So for right now,
that bird is going to fly around like it's part of the Special Olympics.
So hold on. So for right now, it's a conspiracy theory to think that. And I get that. I don't think the earth is flat. I think birds are real. Okay. But if you tell me that anything, 9/11, Vietnam, World War II, if you tell me that we didn't know some shit or we let some stuff happen, that's not a conspiracy, man. That's kind of fact. Kennedy rejected the idea of going into Cuba because Cuba and Russia were butt buddies. You know, Bay of Pigs, the whole thing, right?
Yeah, the Bay of Pigs thing.
The United States said the only way for us to go into Cuba right now is two ways. Bay of Pigs, which was a total abortion.
Oh, God, it was a fuck up.
And that was still an insurgent-led cabal from America.
Yeah.
So it's not a conspiracy theory. That actually happened. That was the Bay of Pigs. Kennedy rejected. They were going to fly an airliner remotely. This is like all it got declassified. They're going to fly an airliner over Cuba with nobody on it. It was going to be remote, and they were going to explode it, and they were going to say the Cuban government shot it down. And Kennedy rejected that. That dude was totally against war. Now, that guy was a piece of shit. He was like raping his 18-year-old fucking interns. Like, he's not a good guy. However, go ahead.
18 is the age of consent.
Yeah, but you can still rape them.
Debatable. Plausible.
So he's not a good guy. So that's what I'm saying. So like, but like that dude had to know that his days were numbered.
Yeah.
He had to know. So all that stuff, he wants to get out of the war. The only reason that all these guys are making money is from building bombs, funding all this shit, and then having that shit go to war. And then magically his head gets blown off? Come on. Dude, the chick's name is Mimi Beardsley.
Dude, it's not like he didn't have this fucking queued up.
So this chick, Mimi Beardsley, wrote a book. First of all, worst name ever, right? I remember this from opening anthem.
Hot. Oof. Oh, hey.
She was
not
hot.
Bad back then, yeah.
So she was one of JFK's mistresses. She was 18.
I have a question.
Good.
JFK was not married?
He was married.
He was.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No hush money, so he doesn't have 34 fucking felonies. Jesus Christ. I mean, the United States is the biggest funneler of like conspiracy shit on the planet. It just is. And I will say this, Daryl, to your friend. I'm starting to believe that we didn't go to the moon either. I'm starting to believe it. I'm starting to believe it. Go ahead. Where's your retort? On your BlackBerry, piece of shit.
Dude, my phone's probably newer than your piece of shit.
It probably is.
All right, so let's talk about this whole conspiracy theory thing.
Yeah, I want to know what makes me a conspiracy theorist when I'm backing it up with tangible, declassified facts. Go ahead.
Yeah, but you're also you also like to believe a lot of the nonsense.
Sure.
Which is that we didn't go to the moon. I mean, you think that was filmed in a Nevada desert or a swimming pool, I think. Mm-hmm. Because most of the TikToks that the conspiracy theorists use to back up their claims are made from a 32-year-old kid with a giant forehead that lives in his aunt's basement. Okay. And they do a TikTok, which is I'm
a 45-year-old with a huge forehead in a basement.
Clip.
Seeing a lot of
is a clipped out video. They take what they want and they put it together, and then they say it's the truth.
So do you know this? This is true. Prior to us going to the moon, using loose quotes here. They didn't know how film would be in radiation. So they staged photos and filmed things if the broadcast wasn't going to go through.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
That's 100% fact.
Okay. I didn't know that.
So because they didn't know, like
So how did they stage these? Where were they staged?
I think in like the Nevada desert.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean they're okay. We'll look at
Anyhow, so with the conspiracy theorists, and I mentioned this to Adam because we have a friend who's fucking completely off his rocker. Mutual friend on Facebook. The problem with them is they throw 8 billion ideas against the wall.
Of course, something sticks. I get it.
One of them sticks, and they are the fucking be all, know all, tell all. They knew it. They have all the information, whatever. And usually it's some bullshit fucking theory that any idiot can put 2 and 2 together and come up with. We get it.
Yeah.
The problem with conspiracy theorists is if you don't agree with them on every front,
Sure.
you watch Fox News, you're a sheep.
Mm-hmm.
You listen to what the government tells you and all this other bullshit. I wrote a little retort to this idiot, and he was busting my shit about. He's a big chemtrail guy. Like I wrote on Adam's page today, I'm like, dude, there's not a cloud in the sky. But the government wasn't up there fucking spreading the chemicals today because I didn't see one chemtrail.
Sure.
Not one. Anywhere. So this dude and Adam had some back and forth fun about it. And we were talking about the whole mask thing during COVID.
Mm-hmm.
If you believed that this vaccination that will cure COVID came out within months of this and you bought that whole thing, you're a fucking idiot. If you believe masks work, you're a fucking idiot.
Sure.
It's a virus. We all knew. Even the medical professionals that work there said that mask wasn't wearing.
Who? Before they got silenced by who? Who silenced the medical professionals that ended up being correct?
Allegedly, the government did, or Big Pharma.
Not a conspiracy.
One of them too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever.
Yeah.
So it doesn't mean any person with a fucking cognitive thought saw through that bullshit.
Sure.
I was ready to leave my very well-paying job after being there a matter of 6 or 7 months.
Yeah, easy.
If
yeah.
they forced that shot on me. I'm like, I'm not taking it. I know it's bullshit. Anyhow, I said, here's the thing with you CTs. If normal people don't buy into every last one, all capital letters, of your theories, you lump every one of them into the group that follows all direction, watches a certain news channel, etc., etc., etc. That is why you're called loons, and appropriately so. I can and will agree with a few of your points, a few of your theories. I might buy into them.
Sure.
Plausible. You know what? You guys may have something here. But since I don't agree with all of it, I'm in a second category regardless. That's the problem with these fucking assholes. Hey, man, I know you're throwing 100 things out here. Guess what? 2 of those things? Fuck, dude, I'm on your side. I think that's bullshit. But you can't, though, because you're against 98% of it.
So what your friend said is that I'm starting to be a conspiracy theorist. I'm really not, but I'm starting to see around the edges just a little bit. And I think that
maybe you teeter a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah, well, okay, so let's
This is all just in the
just conjecture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a little bit. I got to get a golf tournament tomorrow, so I can't be doing this all night.
So when about 5 years ago, the idea of cloud seeding was just bullshit, right?
Yep.
It's bullshit. And then Dubai just had floods in the fucking desert because they cloud seeded. So
Adam debunked this whole thing. Adam blew this whole theory right out of the water.
Okay.
And I can't speak for him. He had the facts. He had everything to back this up. You can't just go up there and see a puffy cloud and drive a plane through it and spread the chemicals, and you're going to have a fucking Noah's Ark type storm. It's impossible to do.
Okay. Why is it impossible?
It just is. The science backs it up that you can't do it. You need an actual storm cloud to cloud seed, to fucking pump it up to make it a little bit bigger, a little bit better. What happened to Dubai was something they said would never happen if you cloud seeded. There isn't enough chemicals. There's not enough fucking action from cloud seeding to create what happened there. What happened there, I guess, I don't want to say it because I don't believe in God, an act of God.
Okay, so this is CNBC.
Oh boy.
Reporting on cloud seeding.
Here in Modesto, California, pilots are prepping this plane to fly into the center of a storm. Flares on the wings and fuselage will inject a substance called silver iodide into the storm clouds, causing water within the clouds to freeze and increasing the amount of precipitation that falls.
We can't make a storm happen, and we can't create conditions in the storm that are ideal. Those happen naturally, and what we're doing is just taking advantage of existing conditions, naturally occurring conditions, and trying to make the storm, again, more efficient from a water supply perspective.
It's called cloud seeding, and as futuristic as it sounds, it's been around since the 1940s.
Oops.
Today, states, utility companies, and ski resorts alike pay companies like Weather Modification International significant money to seed storm clouds and increase snowfall in the drought-ridden American West and worldwide.
Oops.
The current project
this doesn't prove anything, dude.
It proves that cloud seeding is a real thing.
I never said it wasn't. I'm just saying that what happened to Dubai was not possible by cloud seeding. That's all I'm saying. That was a natural weather phenomenon. End of story. Sure. Can you cloud seed? Can you drive into a storm cloud, throw fucking silver iodine or whatever the fuck that is in there and get an extra fucking 0.4 of an inch of rain? Absolutely. Okay. I'm 100% on board with that. Can you fucking drive a plane, one fucking plane through a fucking storm cloud and spread enough chemicals into it to fucking an epic flood? Never. It ain't happening. Whatever, Adam. I'm fucking furious. I'm using words and phrases, but you get my point. Adam's
I don't believe in chemtrails. I don't believe that they're doing things like lower sperm counts and shit like that.
Let's step on that right now.
Sure.
This fucking dude is just chemtrail fucking fanatic.
Sure.
Why are you outside if you're so afraid of what's coming down from those chemtrails?
I totally agree.
Has anybody died and their cause of death been you died of chemtrails? You died of some weird chemical. So I don't believe in that shit. So I might have misspoke with the chemtrails and the fucking cloud seeding. Cloud seeding is a thing. I agree with it. Yes, it can promote more rain.
You need the conditions.
Diabolical conditions is what happened in Dubai. Fucking no way, dude. No way. Get the fuck out of here with that. Step on.
Yeah, I'm not a chemtrail guy. But if you so in the 1960s, the government, again, because this could be a conspiracy theory, the CIA dropped infectious diseases into the subways in New York City.
They should have put more in there.
No shit. To see how fast hospitals would be overrun in the event of of chemical warfare. So the United States did it to its own people. Not a conspiracy theory. It's just, that's what they did. So.
And I'm not pro-government. I know those motherfuckers. Every one of them is shady as fuck. They will sell us out for a nickel. They don't care. So don't think that I'm thinking that everything the government's doing is for my benefit. It ain't. It's for their benefit. And they don't give a fuck about us. Every one of those assholes right now should be in jail. Every one of them.
Yeah, but if that's the thing, like, and maybe I take a little umbrage to being called a conspiracy theorist, but if you look at what the government has done to its people and what the government has done to get into wars, I'm not taking anything off the table with that shit.
Yeah,
I'm
I
just
mean,
not. You can't.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a history in declassified documents. Operation Sea Spray, like in 1950, Navy's secret biological warfare experiment, in which some, I can't read that word. Hold on.
the THE.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry. Yeah. It's Tahiti. Is that Tahiti? Operation Sea Spray. Yeah. Can you read that? Sireta
I can't see that with my contacts in.
Sireta marsenescens and Bacillus globuli bacteria were sprayed over the San Francisco Bay Area in California in order to determine how vulnerable a city like San Francisco may be to a bioweapon attack. So, like, our own government did it to our own people.
Yeah.
Just to see.
Well, all right, go military test. What's the second sentence? Believing them to be harmless to humans.
Yeah, but they wanted to see if there's going to be an influx of people that contracted the thing.
I don't think it's hard enough to figure that out. I mean, so COVID just proved that times 100.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That if something like that were to happen, we as a country are completely fucked, as in any country, because I don't believe that any other countries is well off medically, maybe India with all those fucking doctors, than we are.
I think it's the 1960s. Come on.
1906, yeah.
Sorry.
66.
Yep. Yeah, so they did the same thing in 1966 in the subways. Same bacteria.
So glad I don't live near a subway.
Yeah.
Or a big city.
Bacterial aerosols were released at more than 200 sites, including bus stations and airports. The most infamous test was the 1966.
I hoped you were going to say infamous.
In New York,
it started.
The 1966 contamination of New York metro systems with Bacillus monogenobly.
Yes, that's all I saw too. And every time I saw that word in the last one, I thought fucking
a non-infectious bacterium used to stimulate the release of anthrax. They did it to our own people.
Yeah. Like Adam just said, they got the anthrax fucking shots back in the day in the army.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody that went in the armed services got 84 billion shots of they didn't know what the fuck.
Of course. Yeah. So
to protect them.
That's where my conspiracy theories live. Like, I think even Hillary Clinton said, like, never waste like a good fucking tragedy or something like that. Like, of course. But sometimes we're very guilty of this. And this is why a lot of people don't like the United States anyways, because we make our own tragedies. Yeah. And we don't just make it here. We make it in other countries.
But then it comes around where it
sure
benefits
does.
us.
Yeah. We're the war machine.
Yeah.
The United States' greatest export is fucking war. That's it.
I mean, my old work, something popped off. We had a contract with some Middle East country to fucking make bullet cases for them through Remington. And all of a sudden, that department was overrun with work. They couldn't keep up.
Right.
Because they needed bullets for war.
Shit's crazy.
When war pops off or is imminent, my work gets busier.
So here's the other thing that drives me crazy with the Ukraine stuff. Not just the fact that most of the people that get funding from super PACs and all that shit are getting funded from companies that are owned by BlackRock. So the politicians that make decisions that wield America's big ass fucking cock get funding from the company that benefits from America wielding its big ass cock. That alone is kind of weird. But the fact that if I have a business and you have a business, right? And you need a little help. I say, sure, man. Like, what do you need? You're like, I need 20 grand a month. Okay. So I'm floating you $20,000 a month. This is just broad stroke shit, right?
Yep.
Floating you 20 grand a month. Next month comes by. Hey, we need another 20 grand. Okay, here's another 20 grand. Third month comes back. We really need another 20 grand. Okay. By the fourth month or so, I'm going to be like, all right, motherfucker, I've given you $80,000 of my money. I'm going to come on and just do a little audit to see
where my money's going.
Where my money's going. Because at a certain point, if I'm feeding this garden, I'm watering all the plants, and no plants are growing, there's got to be a fucking problem, right? That's the shit that drives me the most crazy about this whole Ukraine shit. I get stand with Ukraine, and Ukraine did some shitty things. The UN really pushed an initiative that they shouldn't have pushed. And now we got everyone popping off, and it's fine. And the United States doesn't want Putin in power, and I totally get it, and it's fine, whatever. Global politics, sure. It all happens, right? But if our families are paying for, right now, a lot of the money is going to the pensions of the workers for Ukraine. And that motherfucker, the president, just bought a $40 million house in fucking Florida.
Yeah.
Like, I gotta know where some of our money's going. I have to know.
But not enough people care, and nobody's pushing the issue.
Yeah. And then magically they get awarded. Now, who's paying the $9 billion or $9 trillion rebuild? Like, who's going to pay for that? Is it going to be Ukraine, or is it going to be us?
It's us. The United States is going to be footing the bill for that.
And we didn't drop one bomb. We didn't shoot one bullet. So
I just don't understand why first off, why all this money is going overseas.
Now, you could say that's a conspiracy theory, but it's not, because it's real life. It's real life.
Yes. Why are we shipping all this money over there? In the end, what is it? I mean, usually when we're like, hey, we're going to financially back you, but at the end, you're going to turn around and give us something. What are we getting out of this? Nothing.
No, we are getting the fact that our politicians are owned by BlackRock, and BlackRock's getting a $9 trillion investment from somebody, us. Yeah. So in the whole time that they're going to war, the Ukraine's pensions for policemen and all that kind of shit has all been paid for by us. Meanwhile, our pensions, and I don't have a pension, but like people that we know are getting forced to early retirement so they can get their pension, or they're taking options to get early retirement because they're not going to get their pension if they hold on any longer. It's not a conspiracy. That's real.
Yeah.
So I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm a real
That's
theorist.
a really shitty example, because we're all watching that unfold in front of us. We all know what's going on. It's not a conspiracy theorist. What's going on in fucking Ukraine, Russia, Gaza, fucking Pakistan battle.
Yeah, but if you look at the history of America, if you look at the history, like,
yeah, you can go back. The government, us.
Yeah, they just fuck you the whole time. And then we keep electing these people. And it's not Democrat or Republican. It's the people that, like, what's the saying?
This
like,
was never the way the government was supposed to operate. Never the way the government was supposed to operate. Here we are. Everybody's saying the founding fathers will be rolling in their fucking graves so they can see this.
Well,
I'm not even in my grave, and I want to roll.
I do, Molly. Let's do it. There was a guy that was like, all right, so we elected to become our own country and go to war with one of the biggest militaries of all time over a 2% tax on fucking coffee. Or tea over a breakfast beverage. and right now they take like 51% of our shit, and they stockpile money into Social Security that's not even included in the taxes that we pay. Yeah. And that's all gone too. You're never
Social Security won't even be there by the time I'm ready to retire.
No, it's gone. It's gone. It's gone. It's gone 100 times over. Because they keep dipping into it.
Yeah. To send it to fucking Ukraine.
Being a United States citizen is like, you're a guy playing Monopoly, but the government is the banker, and the banker keeps stealing money for its own shit. It's like
If
you can't trust that motherfucker.
Put me in charge of the U.S. back in the day. I want to be friends with Canada. I want to be friends with Mexico.
Sure.
I got your back.
Mm-hmm.
We're bigger. We have a big army. Don't poke bears. We'll protect you. You protect us. We'll take
Seems
care
good.
of each other here. We're on
Yeah.
the same continent.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Whatever happens over in Europe, in the Middle East, fucking let those assholes fuck around in the sandbox and bury
Sure.
each other.
Sure.
Why do I care what is going on over there?
Well,
And
if
then
you
it
look
became about this.
If you look at the labor force too, like why isn't Mexico popping off with factories? Like why aren't 90% of our clothes saying made in Mexico?
Huh?
Those people are scraping for pennies.
Not anymore, because they're here now.
Yeah, but like Mexico should be the feeding factory for American commerce because it's right there.
Yeah.
And then you have people that are making livable wages. They don't got to worry about the cartels. Police force is actually bought for by the state or by the country and not by the fucking cartels. You can play the game a little bit global politically. That was hard for me to say. And
all right.
But instead, we're letting like kids in Cambodia make all our shit. And then we get put through these impossible regulations. This is the one thing where I totally disagree with Democrats. We lock down our oil reserves. We lock down our ability to drill. And for the whole guise that we're going to help the world be less of a pollutant. When our factories are at like a 99% rate of non-pollution. Meanwhile, all the clothes that these fuckers are wearing when they go protest big oil are getting made from slaves in another country where all they do is pollute.
It's just the hypocrisy is insane watching this. And I love when people call that out. It's fucking great. I just sit there and laugh.
Like you're on your iPhone saying that trans people don't have rights, but your iPhone was made from a slave in a factory where they had to put nets outside of windows because people keep trying to kill themselves. And the minerals inside of your phone were mined from people that literally make 8 cents a day. And if they don't pull their weight, they get killed. And we're worried about a guy with a boner in a dress. Go fuck yourself. Like literally go fuck yourself.
Like I said, man, it is fun. It's funny when all that shit gets broken down and people just, that argument gets made and it is solid and it's factual. And the fucking people they stop dead in their tracks. And then they start trying to backpedal. And like, you can't. You walked over the pit. You broke the sticks and you're in this shit now.
Well, they do
because
that.
You're an idiot.
But if they, then we, it's like,
no.
We could make 1,000 more coal plants. We could make 1,000 more. And I swear to God, I don't know the math behind this, so I'm talking in generalities. Adam.
In what?
Genitals?
Talking to genitals?
But like 1,000 of our coal plants would probably release less pollutants into the air because of regulations that the coal plants have to follow than maybe 100 of the ones that are getting built in China. And China says they're going to be net neutral by a certain point. Well, they're building like 200 more. Let me get the numbers for you. How many more coal plants? How many more coal plants is China building? So China says they're going to meet our global initiative, right? They're making 300 more coal plants before the end of this year, because then that's going to be the number that allows them to reduce by 25%. So they went up by 400% to get down by 25%. And everyone's going to say, well, they're doing their part. and their shit isn't regulated the way our shit's regulated. I don't get it, man. Like, and I don't think it's a lack of intelligence. I think the problem is that passion gets in the way of intelligence. The same way
100%.
your high school basketball coach would say, the reason we run so much is because you get retarded in the fourth quarter. When you're tired, you get dumb. When you're overly passionate, you also get really, really fucking dumb. That's the problem with all the shit that's popping off right now.
Big facts.
That's the problem right now.
I got a question.
Sure. I have answers. Go ahead.
All right, good. And this is actually a question to you.
Oh.
Where do you stand on the push to go electric vehicles?
Don't like it.
Okay. Do you not like it because you just don't like electric cars? You like the sound of a regular fucking V8 engine?
No.
Or is it because you are afraid if you own an EV car that the government can just shut your car off whenever they want?
I would say
control.
I would say that part is probably 10th on the list. Number one is, let's say that we make a push to make tractor trailers or something like that all EV, which is kind of the big push, right? It takes 16,000 pounds in batteries to power that truck. And everyone and their mother knows that our infrastructure in bridge technology right now is dog shit. So we're going to create more weight to go over our roads that aren't really ready to sustain the weight. That scares me more than anything.
That's an actual fucking brilliant point that I don't think I would have considered. Now that you mention it, it makes 110%.
Yeah,
sense. 110% sense. It makes
number
sense.
two, the United States just passed a bill that gave somebody like $7.6 billion to put EV stations all around. Guess how many they made so far in the last 3 years?
Like charging stations?
Yeah, charging stations.
Okay.
Guess how many charging stations have been made with the $7.6 billion?
15.
7.
Okay, that was close.
7.
Okay, that was close.
7 charging stations. So the weight of let's say everybody had an electric car in a cul-de-sac, like Big Hertz neighborhood, right?
Right.
Adding one EV charging station to your house is like adding, I think it's like 20 refrigerators to your house in weight from from pulling electric. One way to charge a car, not saying we have 2 cars in a family, just one EV car, right, is 20 fucking refrigerators per house to charge it. So we have road infrastructure that's shit. Bridges are going to collapse because of the weight of a non-weighted load. And then we have neighborhoods where, let's say everyone's mandated in California to have a fucking just an EV car. They can't even turn on their air conditioners now. You want to talk about brownouts when fucking Aquaman's going into fucking the theaters in Entourage? No one, maybe 8 people had a Tesla, or maybe 8 people had a Prius back in the day. This it's going to be a drain on everything. The secret, I believe, and this is my conspiracy theory, tinfoil hat, we all got scared of nuclear. Nuclear is the only real clean way to build and empower energy that's going to have enough source to empower any sort of EV revolution, which is what the government wants.
I mean, that's why they went with most of the subs and battleships being nuclear powered.
Yeah. Oh, and dude, and here's the thing. There is a company that's making hydrogen powered cars. Yes,
I did see that, and they said it is going to be like one of the cheapest ways to. But guess what's going to happen? That guy's going to end up dead.
It's actually in production. So
everybody, they're all dead.
They're going to have to Boeing those guys. But I think there's something in that the hydrogen cells are going to be better than electric. And I really think in probably the next 10 years, there's going to be a push to get rid of, because again, like the minerals that are sourced, and if we care about a guy that's wearing a dress that wants to piss in a woman's bathroom in America, right? That's a big thing, right?
It is. Yeah.
And sure, I get it, but I kind of don't get it because I have a daughter. We want a guy that is a bad 400 runner to be able to say he's a girl, to be the best 400 runner. And that's what we care about in America. And that's fine. I'm not a parent of a guy that is a shitty 400 runner that wants to go run against girls and say he's a girl. I'm not that guy.
Yeah.
I have an athlete daughter.
Yeah.
I have an athlete son.
Yeah.
And they play girl sports and boy sports.
Yeah.
So I'm not that guy. So I can't put myself in that situation. But if you think that we should care that much about a guy that has a boner running a 400 against girls, on our iPhones, where all of the minerals are, number one, owned by China and coming out of like Uganda and some shit by slaves, we should probably care about where the minerals are coming from. And nobody does.
No, and that's the thing too, is like everybody's showing pictures of these train loads of coal. And like, oh, look at another fucking load of electric batteries, and everybody's trying to figure out. They break it down about how much goes into making one battery for an EV car. It's insane. And then they're like, what do you do where are those batteries going when they're fucking toast right now? Are they getting buried with the windmill blades out in the middle of fucking planes?
And there might be a way down the road, and I think the big money is going to be some company's going to invent a way to extract the minerals that were already sourced by slaves. This is what Apple's doing. This is their whole new
Apple so much
PC initiative, right? They're like going, you know what? That phone that was an iPhone 8 or whatever, sure, the minerals at the time were sourced by slaves. But what we're going to do, because we care now about people, even though they don't care about people at fucking all, we're going to take the minerals out of the phone. We're going to recycle the minerals, and then we're going to put them in phones. So now the phone that you have was not sourced by slaves. It still was. You're just taking it one step over.
Yeah.
How many EV stations are powered by coal?
I got a question about the hydrogen car. At what point are they going to start saying that the price of producing hydrogen is going to go up like gas?
Well, that's when you get to a point where like, is a gallon of water going to go from what, 98 cents to $5?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And if so, why? Why did it go up? My problem with I've fucking been irate about this. I drive by the gas station, go to the gym, gas is $3.63. I'm at the gym for 45 minutes. I drive back home, gas is $3.69. In that 45 minutes, there's not a gas truck there delivering another tank of gas. Why did it go up 6 cents? What happened to the gas in the ground to make it worth 6 cents more?
Yeah. Well, and this is shit that bothers me the most, right? So you start to like look for information because, Google's on the fucking... Google is basically an extension of the government. Not conspiracy theory. It is. But like you go ask Google a question, right? And it goes, so the question is, how many EV stations are powered by coal? The most common charging station source is the electric grid. Okay, that's not the question I fucking asked.
Yeah.
So then I got to go, how much of the electric grid is powered by
coal,
fossil fuels, right? So let's do that. I'll just type it because I can't fucking use a PC to save my life. How much of the electric CTRIC grid?
Right there. It's the first one. You already asked this question.
I know, but I want to say like fossil fuels, but that's fine. Coal is a resounding. Jesus
Yes,
Christ.
check. Now I can't wait to play this game. Oh fuck.
Oh, okay. All right.
There we go.
All right.
Coal's the
Coal,
second
natural gas,
column.
petroleum,
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
geothermal is not. Okay, so Alaska, coal is 13.7, natural gas, another fossil fuel, 41%, petroleum, 14.9%.
Hydro,
Okay.
water.
Hydro is
right?
yeah.
Okay.
So then we have nuclear, Arkansas crushing it, Arizona crushing it. Natural
goes
gas,
up.
44%. California, 49%. It's from natural gas. And they're all like, well, no, we have to fucking, like Delaware,
Look at
85%.
Connecticut.
Yeah. There you go. Nuclear. Nuclear's the key, man.
Go to New York.
New York. It's going to be a lot of hydro, I imagine.
Hydro's 22%.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, 45.6% is natural gas.
Go back up. Stop right there. Go back to Hawaii. I want to figure out what the fuck this island's doing with no nuclear, obviously. 11%.
65.4% is petroleum. Yeah. So, I mean, you can't get away from it.
No.
So why not flip it? Why not have like these really obscure areas, even where I'm in, throw a nuclear plant in. Throw it in.
The problem with that is, how do you?
Who's the biggest state for nuclear? New Hampshire?
So far, yeah.
Ooh, South Carolina?
South Carolina's up there.
Tennessee? Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Damn. I would never guessed. All right. Do you got one more in you or no?
No, I got to get up. I got to go to the gym, and I got golf. I got to be in Holland by 12:30. We got golf tomorrow. Big day. Big day. First day on the links. It's good to be back.
Good to be back.
Back next week, then I'm off. Father's Day weekend, I'm going camping.
All right. We'll put a couple in the can next week.
Yeah, and let's Freudian slip. Let's try to plan this out. Let's get one. If you can go earlier, I mean, if you can leave the bar and come home early.
Sure.
Okay. We can bang out an hour show.
Sure.
Then change our clothes.
Yeah.
And then do this. The first one, just record. Don't push it to Facebook. Just record it. And save it.
Sure.
We can run it. I mean, Father's Day weekend. I don't know if you're going to be around, but I don't give a fuck. You and Jerry and Ortez want to bang out a show, then great. Then save the extra one. Let's start putting 2 or 3 together so we got them. Yeah. It's summertime. You know, I'm not going to be around every Friday. I know.
Yeah, you're Summerdale right now.
I am.
We get it. All right, we'll get out of here.
So it was good talking to you, Gooks.
Yeah, later, Gooks. Shishi.
One of these days, we're going to do such a cold open when you and I are just randomly talking about stuff and we lose our shit and just hit the fucking button. And yeah.
Later, Phildo.
Later. Two Dolts podcast, Hammered Hayride, coming up in 6 weeks.
Go on Spotify and just like our shit. It helps. Yeah. Just
you ain't got to listen to it. Just hit the fucking button and then ignore it after that. That's all.
Just like it. It's fine. It's fine. Hammered Hayride. Hayride is going to be awesome. Can't wait. And we'll go from there.
90s attire. So bright fluorescent colors, fucking denim, Canadian tuxedos, whatever.
Denim Dan. Let's fucking do it. I'm not scared.
I think we were told we're going to have to give, there's another float in the parade. Guinness is a small town, small parade that gets really, really drunk and obnoxious. And allegedly they was told that we're supposed to now give them a run for their money. So let's show up and go fucking big. I think I might bring fireworks. Things might light on fire. I don't give a fuck.
M80s, just fucking
Yeah.
kill some people.
Oh, I got a
I don't
bunch
give a
of
fuck,
that
dude.
shit. Yeah, the Canland fucking float. I guess they get fucked. But whatever money we got from, we're gonna charge you all $15 to get on a fucking float. We'll have some beers on there, a couple extra 30 packs. Bring your own shit.
Oh, they have
All the
shit?
extra monies we're gonna fucking donate to the fire hall for the firemen and shit
Yeah.
afterwards. So
The men in
which would be
red.
great. And all our cans and shit from the float, our float that we're gonna put in the bags, we're gonna give the Canland float and have them fucking donate it to the fire hall too.
Easy work
So
for
we're
us.
just fucking, we're just doing it all for the
Yeah.
community. And I just can't wait for what to happen. Oh yeah, Barvian comes back to town and turns the whole fucking city on its ear.
I can't wait. It's
We're
gonna be
gonna
fun.
get drunk. We're gonna have good music. We're gonna fucking do huggy bombs. Thank God Tina saved us from making Jello shots.
It's a good move.
I always fuck them up. I try to put too much alcohol in them and they don't set.
No, you're drinking like it's like a semi-gelatinous shot.
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
It's like a fucking slushy at that point. So
Cool.
that's coming up 6 weeks, but we will be back in our stride next Friday night.
Yeah, dude. Let's do it. All right, man.
Right.